حريق كبير في مرفأ بيروت.
لا يا عذرا البناية يا عذرا انفجار نووي.
The destruction is overwhelming. This is the port in Lebanon's capital, Beirut. Rubble everywhere, buildings blasted open, vehicles flipped and smashed. Those caught in it, those who survived, dazed and bloody. Hospitals already struggling to cope with COVID-19, now flooded with so many blast victims, some are being treated outside. Officials say at least 78 people are known to have died and almost 4,000 are injured. The Red Cross has put out an urgent appeal for blood donors. Lebanon has a history of conflict and of bombings, but the scale of this is like nothing else. Good evening and thanks for joining us. The massive explosion was so powerful, the shock wave was felt hundreds of kilometers away. Lebanon's internal security chief says it happened in an area in the port that housed highly explosive materials. The cause is not clear yet, but as Crystal Gamansing reports, the damage certainly is.
The massive plume of black smoke rising up over the port, impossible to miss. Mixed into that smoke, flashes of light believed to be fireworks going off. Even those in cars during the evening rush hour grabbed their phones to record the dramatic scene. But no one was prepared for what came next. An explosion so powerful, shockwaves were reportedly felt clear across the Mediterranean in Cyprus.
The glass shattered all over the cars around us, the buildings, all the glass just went down. It was raining glass all over the city of Beirut.
Images show buildings far from the explosion site destroyed. Many people were caught on the roads, unsure of what to do next. My car's down there, he says. It rolled over. I think this injury was because of the glass. Lebanon's prime minister said the nation is suffering and called on friendly neighboring countries for support. Faced with a major economic crisis and the strain of the COVID-19 pandemic, Lebanon's health system is itself ailing and now struggling to keep up with the thousands of injured people caught up in the explosion. This woman says we thought it was a container in the port that was on fire and they weren't able to put it out. A few seconds later, we were flying through the air. Exactly what happened is unknown. One security official says the source of the blast was a building at the port where explosive material was kept. Wednesday has been declared a national day of mourning. Crystal Gamansing, Global News, London.
It's not clear if there are any Canadians among the victims, though we know that nearly 11,000 Canadians are registered as being in Lebanon. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has offered Canada's support to the country. Tweeting, absolutely tragic news coming out of Beirut. Canadians are thinking of everyone who has been injured and all those who are trying to locate a friend or family member or who have lost a loved one. We're keeping you in our thoughts and we stand ready to assist in any way we can. And Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister tweeted, tragic news out of Beirut today. Canada is closely monitoring the situation. Our hearts are with the victims and their families. We stand with the people of Lebanon and the diaspora during this difficult time, and we are ready to assist however we can. He urged any Canadians in need of emergency consular assistance to contact the government. Before this explosion, Lebanon was already crippled by the worst economic crisis in years. Decades of political mismanagement, corruption, and overspending have accelerated in recent months to the point of economic collapse. The Lebanese pound has lost 80% of its value since last October. Pandemic restrictions have led to job losses, poverty, and despair. Unemployment is at 32%. Many parts of Lebanon only get 2 or 3 hours of electricity a day. Bread, a staple of the Lebanese diet, is in short supply because the government can't fund imports of wheat. The charity Save the Children estimates more than 900,000 people living in and around Beirut do not have enough money to buy food. And talks with the IMF about a $10 billion bailout stalled in July.